All right, we have a game request 7Q, 9Q versus 8Q. And we're going to yeah, reverse it from the beginning. Yes, he said White did actually say he felt like he had this game at the end, and he did indeed have the game. He was still winning by 17, 18 points here, and this is when the game is pretty settled. White's clearly ahead right now. But let's actually go back to the beginning. We always review the games from the beginning. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. You definitely want to you definitely most want to complete this, and then I do think like both players want to do that. If you come here, black does have the option to attach, and this is just one of those things that I don't really think you really want to do. So it's fine. I think I would have immediately done this. This is just like getting the thickness here is just a big advantage for white. I mean black. So we have that. It's fine. Oh wait, hang on. Okay, that's fine. So the thing is, like, there's a reason this is important because if you play this, he can still invade and put pressure on your three stones here. I mean, he doesn't have this, so that's why white needs to jump first. But if white jumps, this stone is very uncomfortable for white. So this is fine. That I generally don't like as a move. Giving him the straight block down, there's not much territory in here, and you're making him a lot stronger. So here, I don't know, maybe just a one jump is better. Probably. I mean, you're at a disadvantage because you're going this way. But this is generally like always an advantage for black if he can block down this way. So yeah, here you definitely just want to attach down. Because he can't, remember, he can't come out this way. He's got those two there. This is not an acceptable loss for black. I mean, that's not an acceptable loss for white. Or if we want a cleaner one, you can just extend downward too. That's fine. This is not an acceptable loss for white. Um, yeah, this is just an unfinished corner right here. Not a, that's not a good shape. That's an unfinished corner right there. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Here I would either pincer this way or pincer this way. White's gonna get a base. Doing doing this doesn't make too much sense because he can just go right underneath. I mean, like you could try to build the potential up here, but right now it's just too open. So that's not a good thing for white. Um, this is a little slow. I mean, black can just force here at this point. After this move, I would just do this, or possibly even just do this, or possibly even just come up. I wouldn't do the double hane. That's okay, I guess. I don't know about that move. I mean, it's not horrible. I would go on top if I was black, but that's just me. Which he did. Okay, so this is not good. You don't want to invade black's corner when your group is just not very good. Because realistically, if he really wants to, he can just force this way and kill your group. Like that's already worth it. That's really already worth it for white right there to just do that. So not this is not really something you want to do. Or like, if he really wants to, he can just force this way here and kill your corner. He can just kill your corner. So black actually has the option right now of killing whichever side he wants on white. So and you still kind of have to do this. So the thing is like that's like you don't want to invade the corner when this group's not alive. You definitely do not want to invade the corner when that group's not alive. Yeah, this is just black basically taking the worst option available because he could have killed either one of those two groups if he wanted to. I'm not really sure if this is. That actually might be dead. I mean, there's a bit of trouble there, but that actually might be... No, I don't think it is, because... Yeah, it's actually dead. You can... Actually, no, you can do this and plot here, I guess. I mean, you can kill that. I don't know if that's really... That actually might be worth it as well. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff here. It's not like if you play this, it's not fully... The thing is, if you play this, it's not fully alive. You throw in this particular instance, you don't clamp up here. You throw in here, and then he can't connect. So I still think if you guys just recognize the live and dead shapes, you would get a lot better, because you would really recognize that this was, you would actually recognize that this was kind of dead. And even if he comes out, you can just take this group first, kill this. This is still weak, and you've still got the side over here. He might do this, but then you can still kind of attack this group over here, and there's still it's a lot of territory over here. Although it's not the best, it's really not the best answer. I mean, it's not really the best thing, because, like, you know, he kind of destroyed your side over here. So a lot of mistaken moves here, but yeah. A lot of these life and death things, you do not, as white, you don't answer that. That's right. That's just alive. You can't really do anything there on the side, at the side. That's not a good move, because he can obviously just flag down. I don't really know what you do in this instance. I would probably force over first. If he does this, I might do something like this later. I don't know. Or there's a good chance I would just try to do this and attack these two stones at that point. But yeah, I would probably force over first and see, like, if I can't pressure this group a little bit. Okay, you really can't. I mean, like, I don't know. There's just things that you really shouldn't. You can't tanuki. This is one of those things you don't tanuki. First of all, that's a wrong move. Black needs to do that. Since he's willing to do that for some odd reason, you just come back, and you have all the territory. Like, he has a weak group, and you get all the territory. So you would definitely play f3 here. Going over here, yeah, these are big, but none of your groups are actually threatened. This is already, he can't really disconnect that. So none of these groups are threatened. So if you do this and he does this, you can just cut here, and you're already connected. So there's no reason to hurry it up on this. Like, this is going to be a lot of territory, and it creates a weak group. So you definitely want to retreat first. Yeah, while the going out there is important, black is already on the outside, and there's no way that white can seal him in with one move. So you've got to break this. If you break this, like, this group is regardless of which way you do it, this group is kind of weak, and he has to mine this group while attacking you. He's not going to be able to kill this group generally. With two evenly matched players, he should not be able to kill this group, because, like, his group's just as bad off. So both of you missed the key play here for a long time. You're really trying to attack his group, but what you're not realizing is that if black just does this, or if he does this, I mean, it's not very good for you. What are you going to do if he does this exactly? I mean, let's say you do this and he takes. I mean, you have to connect here. And he has the option of just cutting here. You do this, he's already got the bottom territory, and now you still have to kill these stones. And he can still come out, and your group here isn't really all that strong either. So realistically, in this fight, you guys are missing the key piece down here. Because these moves down here are so much more crucial than anything up here. I mean, it looks like a lot of you are just trying to attack different points, but you're missing the key points in fights. This is not right. Either Hane here, or probably just go up top. I mean, like, if he does that, you can just do this. Or actually, no. If he does that, you can kind of connect, you know, like, because you can't really see, you can't he can't really seal you in. I mean, he can't do that, you know. You have that, so yeah, that's not a good move. Because if you do that, he does have the option to do this, and then you're in a bit of trouble. I mean, you could play this right now, so it probably doesn't matter too much, but yeah, if you're white, you want to do this instead. This one, I feel like you need to connect here. You can probably just do that. He's not going to be able to cut you because you can just kill him. So, and also, even if you do this and then you connect, this is still a lot better off. His 3 here is still really weak. So you want to connect the bottom one for sure. Yeah, that's a big problem. But it's not really that big of a problem if you think about it. Because he can't seal you in, and it's still problematic if, and like after this fight, you know, if he does this, this is really problematic if black does this now. Yeah, like you finally did that, so you got the key move there. But now, since you have this weak group, that's okay as well. Actually, this is okay. I mean, like you should just jump because this group isn't under threat. So white pumps up here. Black can just try to kill this. Once he separates these 3, it's in a bit of danger, and he's got a lot of potential for territory all throughout here. So instead of here, I would just jump here. He is using it to form this territory, but this is just a lack of counting. Like black doesn't realize that he's already given up this. He's given up all this territory down here and this down here. So even if he gets this territory here, he doesn't have enough points. Okay, so this is like where you start This is like this is one of those This is one of those positions where like you just need to count. You just really need to count. Like if you count and you realize that you have more territory than he does, then you just play kind of safely and you don't need to destroy his territory. Like remember, the point of Go isn't to destroy all his territory. The point of Go is just to have more points than the other person. So realistically, like you just take big moves now. Like you can go here, you can go here, because this might look big, but if you count the points, you're actually already ahead by quite a lot, as you can see. So you're kind of like just kind of feeding him points because this is not a good move. Black can just do this. And there's really not much you can do. Like you're dead in here. And instead of like that, you just tossed him, like you probably just cost yourself 5 or 6 points by doing this. So this is probably how you lost the game. Because you're feeding him just more and more points here. He didn't even need to connect that. He could have just connected this on the outside. So the thing is, like, I know you're trying to get some points in here, but once again, this isn't that many points. That's actually pretty important. That's fine. That's fine, but you have to remember that black does have this squeeze here now. Well, actually, he doesn't because yeah, he does. Oh, he doesn't have the squeeze here yet. It's fine. Okay, I don't see how you would actually lose this game if you killed this. Connects. Wait, no. You have to connect this. There's not a great way he can kill. There's not a great. I guess he can do that. But even like you can just come out this way, right? Like he can't do this because then he's just dead. You got the you have the you actually have the ladder here. So you have to. That was a big mistake. You should have. That was like your first big mistake. You should have fixed this down here first instead of this over here because this is actually alive. That you didn't need to answer. You would probably just go here, play some other big move. That's okay too. It's fine. So this here, when he does this, I feel like he would probably just connect. Because yes, he does break a few more points in here, but remember you have 3 points up here. If you Atari and you go this way, he gets rid of 1 or 2 points up here. Plus he can still Hane here. So I actually think I would connect this and just block this way. It's not a huge amount of point difference, but it is a little bit, I think. Here you don't need to. Here you don't need to answer. You just do something else. I don't know what's big right now. Probably this. Yeah. See, like you're letting him get all the big. You're letting him get all the big closing moves, and you're actually like you're answering a lot of moves that you don't have to answer. So he's getting a lot of work done. See, like here, like black here, he doesn't answer this. He could have connected here, but he doesn't answer this. He just goes for the bigger move of killing this instead. So you're losing a lot of points. Also, you're just feeding him points here. So you fed him a couple of points there. That's going to whittle down on your lead. And once again, like you're playing, you're basically making moves that aren't worth very many points, and you're giving him Sente. Like black shouldn't have done that either. Black, I don't exactly know what's big right now. Probably this. If I was black, I would have done that. It's a lot of points in there that you just missed out on. And that actually might put him in the lead. The thing is, right now, like, you're not recognizing, like, which closing moves you have to answer and which closing moves you don't have to answer. And you're also feeding him points. And that's what's costing you the game right now. Because he's not actually making any moves to win the game, but you're actually making moves to lose the game at the end game. Because like you're feeding him too many points. He just fed you a bunch of points here, but in the end, I think you fed him more. Yeah, this move is actually better. This move I think is actually better. Because there's not really a good way for you to, well, they're almost the same. They're almost the same, I guess. I don't know why you did this. That doesn't make that doesn't make any sense. These are codes. You don't really want to play them right away. I don't understand why you black would play that. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, like this would just be feeding black more points. This would definitely be fleeting. Like black doesn't have to answer. Now he did actually answer here, as I see, but he didn't have to answer. He doesn't have to answer because he already has 2 eyes here. So he could have pulled ahead here. He also didn't have to answer this. Remember, black has 2 eyes here. You can't kill him. You just take this immediately. He has to answer this. So and then you can fix whatever. Yeah, so you did that right. That I guess. Once again, he doesn't have to answer this. He really doesn't have to answer this. He's got a couple of he's got more liberties than you do. He doesn't have to answer this until this liberty is filled. You're not really fighting a Ko here. I don't know, like you're trying really hard to kill his territory, but you're just feeding black more points. Yeah, like you essentially lost the game because you fed black way too many points in the end. Yeah, like remember, like before you did all of this, you were up by 3.6, but since you actually just filled, since you basically since you basically yeah, since you basically like did all that, now you're behind by 1. So you lost 4 or 5 points there, and there's a reason why you lost 4 or 5 points, because if you just did this earlier on, if you just did this earlier on, he would eventually have to like do this. You would connect, but he would have to take this. He would actually have to take it. So you would actually have to take it. So that's one less point for him. Whereas since you did all of this, since you did all of this, and he already took all these, now he can just block, and he doesn't have to fill in an extra stone here. So you lost a point that way, and you probably lost a couple of points like this in here. So you actually lost a lot of forcing points. You actually lost a lot of forcing points at the end, which is why you lost by a small margin, because you were ahead before you did all this stuff. You also gave him a bunch of sentes here as well. So yeah, like you kind of, you did kind of just beat yourself in this game at the end. Like you were ahead until the very end, but then you kind of beat yourself. And also just the thing is like I said, I don't know how much time you had here, but if you actually counted here, you would have realized that you're ahead by a significant amount, and then you don't really need to do a lot of like trick plays to get points. You just need to play solid big moves at the end. Like cleaning up your end game is very important. Also recognizing like big moves like this over here is important, but just don't like if the game is close, you can't just feed your opponent's points, and ultimately you lost because you fed him a lot of points in the end game. So that is the review for this game. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell notifications button. I will be back later, and hope to see you guys later.